But then when you have your own kids or when you're expecting your own kids, that's when it really hits you. And I remember one of these years I choked up on stage. I would want to take, but if I have to do that, then I will ensure, as I have done previously, and I will continue to make sure.
Decades.
Thank you for showing us the light when all too often darkness can consume us.
Harry,
Picture this. You travel 5,000 miles across the Atlantic, walk through the gates of one of Britain's most exclusive residences, and sit down for what could be the most pivotal conversation of your life. 55 minutes later, you're back in your car, heading straight to your next appointment with absolutely nothing resolved. That's exactly what happened to Prince Harry recently, and the ripple effects have social media in absolute overdrive. The images from that September afternoon tell a story that royal watchers are calling a watershed moment.
Individual. The stories were not out there. You lying fool. You know, William's a bully.
One that could reshape everything we understand about modern monarchy dynamics. What really transpired during those carefully timed 55 minutes? And why are observers saying this wasn't a heartwarming family catch-up at all, but something far more strategic and calculated? Before we get into this story, hit that subscribe button and notification bell if you want the latest royal updates. Now, let's dive into what really happened during those 55 minutes at Clarence House. Imagine flying all the way across the Atlantic, suiting up for tea in Clarence House.
Morning, sir. Morning.
So you're all working incredibly hard.
Bring back Harry, please. Sir. Please.
And walking out with nothing but a lukewarm teacup memory. That's exactly what just happened to Prince Harry. These two images from that September afternoon, side by side, show why Harry looked so concerned leaving Clarence House. And the internet is having a field day. According to multiple outlets, this was Harry's first sit-down with King Charles in over a year. But ever since he stepped back from royal duties, he has gradually lost his insider access. He seems to be focused on getting it back.
The family's castle in Scotland. But he did it. He made time for his...
A supposedly royal peace talk that lasted just 55 minutes. This meeting actually went for a much shorter period than what the rest of the mainstream media is reporting. Now, people online are joking it wasn't a meeting at all. More like a speed date gone wrong. Harry, who ended up leaving quietly, not the other way around. Public opinion is intense. Memes are everywhere. Captions like, Harry came for the crown but left with crumbs. I'll tell you the real reason. It's all about positioning. And here's the kicker. Reports say the private chat lasted less than 20 minutes. Yes, you heard that right.
Individual. The stories were not out there. You lying fool. You know, William's a bully.
The relationship between William and Harry remains strained. By the time the refreshments were on the table, the conversation was practically over. William, at one point within 7 miles of his brother, so near and yet so far, refusing to see him. But that's not the most significant part. What's grabbing headlines is the claim that Harry departed without achieving his goals after requesting support, recognition, and security arrangements, and walking straight into another PR challenge. They know that once King William is King William,
the family's castle in Scotland. But he did it. He made time for his...
that they're done, that they're completely cut off. So the real question is this. Did King Charles just decline Harry's last shot at reconciliation, or did Harry walk straight into a royal strategy? Because what happened in those 55 minutes may change everything. Yes, they met, but King Charles gave Harry the professional treatment with no special considerations. They called it a private tea, but let's be honest, this was no cozy catch-up. According to palace insiders, Clarence House looked less like a family home and more like the set of a diplomatic meeting.
In recent weeks, I have been most deeply touched by your wonderfully kind and thoughtful good wishes for my health.
Security surrounded the gates, cameras were blocked, and staff shuffled in silence as if they knew something important was about to unfold. I mean, him and Meghan had this really capable new PR team over in LA who were trying to make all these meetings happen. Here's the strange part. The entire meeting clocked in at just 55 minutes. That's less than an episode of The Crown. And at least that show gives us resolution. Out of those 55 minutes, reports claim Harry and the King had barely 20 minutes of private conversation.
Assalamu alaikum.
King Charles just broke royal tradition and it's sparking serious debate.
The rest? Protocols, security checks, and a lot of formal waiting around. This is the sort of meeting that the king does with dignitaries. It's not the meeting that he does with close family members. Viewers online couldn't resist commenting, joking it was less a royal summit and more like waiting in line at the government office, but with fancier wallpaper. And then there was Queen Camilla. Yes, she joined the table, which immediately changed the atmosphere. For Harry, who's been previously candid about her role in the past, this was like walking into a board meeting, only to find your unexpected supervisor running the show. She was a significant figure. She was the third person in the marriage. She needed to rehabilitate her image. Public opinion quickly pointed out the situation. Harry may have expected a father-son heart-to-heart, but instead, he got the royal power couple approach. The most telling part? No official palace statement, no smiling exit photos, nothing. Just total silence, which according to commentators made the whole thing look even more formal. Because if this was supposed to be about healing,
Prince Harry has officially reunited with his father, King Charles, at Clarence House, marking the first time the pair have come face to face.
Why did it feel more like a royal business transaction that got wrapped up quickly? But here's where things start to get interesting. What Harry supposedly asked for next had even veteran royal reporters paying attention. Forget tea and biscuits. According to multiple reports, Harry came armed with an agenda thicker than a royal history book. Sources suggest he wasn't there just to sip Earl Grey. He was there to negotiate, and the rumored list, it raised eyebrows. First, financial backing. People online joke that it sounded less like a reunion and more like pitching your dad on Shark Tank.
It was the king arriving back at Clarence House from Scotland that signalled it might be happening. And then
Harry is really facing challenges at the moment, even financially. I mean, we know that Meghan's Jam failed to sell out. Her season 2 of her cooking show was a significant disappointment. Then came the sticky subject of titles for the kids. Public opinion immediately lit up. Some said it was Harry fighting for his family. Others quipped it was more about recognition than crowns. And tucked in with all of that, requests for security support and even coverage for mounting legal costs. If true, that's a shopping cart full of royal favors.
Prince Harry and King Charles's emotional face-to-face meeting reportedly included hugs and tears. According to an insider, the private
commentators describe the vibe as urgent, not humble, like showing up at a family dinner and demanding Wi-Fi, cash, and car keys before dessert. Public reaction was intense, with one viral post comparing it to asking Santa for every toy in the catalog, and then wondering why the sleigh feels empty. The list is extensive. Once Meghan treated as an HR issue, that's the most realistic on the list, where you can go, I can see these two having the confidence to say that people need to bow and curtsy to Prince Harry's wife. But here's the real kicker. While Harry laid out his wish list, the king's reaction was nothing short of reserved. Do you think King Charles was right to keep things professional and measured, or should he have shown more fatherly warmth? Let's see what you think. Drop your answer below. So, how did King Charles respond to Harry's royal shopping list? According to reports, with the kind of silence that could freeze Buckingham Palace fountains. Witnesses described his tone as calm, measured, and completely unyielding, like a teacher who just found an error and doesn't even bother to raise their voice. And it's all about trust. There is no trust.
Breaking right now. King Charles chooses Prince Harry over the heir to the throne,
When it comes to Prince Harry, public opinion framed it as the ultimate royal response delivered without a single dramatic gesture. And here's where it gets interesting. Insiders claimed Charles leaned heavily on protocol, not personal emotion. Translation: he didn't even give Harry the satisfaction of a heated debate. Instead, it was a formal, institutional approach. People online joked it was like trying to return an item at a store and being told, sorry, no refunds, no exchanges. Policy is policy.
Well, folks, as we all know, King Charles met with Prince Harry.
Camilla's presence reportedly made the refusal even more airtight. Commentators suggested that with her at the table, Charles was less dad in the living room and more CEO in the boardroom. His meeting with the king. I agree. I think that it was a symbolic gesture to say, hey, I'm back in with the royal family public. Don't take me for a fool, but no one's falling for it. Memes spread widely, painting the king as a wall of granite while Harry looked like someone bouncing a tennis ball against it, hoping for cracks. But Harry wasn't done yet. His reaction to that royal wall, that's when things really started to develop.
Yes, they met. But King Charles gave Harry the cold shoulder with no...
When the talk ended, the scene outside Clarence house became the real headline. According to onlookers, Harry walked out with a pace that communicated, meeting adjourned, nothing to see here, no smiles, no waves, no warm father-son farewell, just a quick exit that felt more like a fire drill than a family reunion. Public reaction was instant. Memes flooded timelines comparing the exit to leaving a group project where you did all the work, but still got no credit. Others commented on the timing. 55 minutes total.
We have had a statement in the last few minutes from Buckingham Palace, who are as clear as they can be. All of these issues have been
less than 20 minutes of private talk and Harry leaving without so much as a polite goodbye gesture. Online, it was dubbed the shortest royal comeback tour in history. Even the photos told the story. Charles later pictured looking regal and composed, while Harry was captured with what many described as a concerned expression. Commentators pointed out the optics. One man looked like a monarch in full control, the other like he just had a difficult conversation at a family barbecue. But he's been on this huge charm offensive. Here I am, this charity.
Happy early birthday to the Duke of Montecito. Meghan Markle's...
This charity, I like a great guy. Oh, look at me sword fighting with this kid. It's classic, sort of royal visit stuff. But the real fallout wasn't just about his exit, because once Harry walked out empty-handed, the public conversation turned critical and the media spin machine kicked into high gear. The palace said nothing, but the media said everything. Within hours, headlines painted the tea as progress, some even suggesting it was a step toward reconciliation. But online, the crowd remained skeptical. Public opinion questioned the coverage with viral comments like, if that was reconciliation...
I would love reconciliation with my family. There's no point in continuing.
Then my last awkward Zoom call was a peace treaty. Social media had a field day. One post joked that Harry's 55-minute tea sounded more like a dentist appointment, except you usually leave the dentist with a free toothbrush. Another compared the silence from Clarence house to a magician's trick. Poof, the meeting happened, but no one knows what actually came out of it. Meanwhile, royal commentators framed Charles's silence as a genius PR strategy, letting Harry's exit do all the talking.
Breaking today, yes, they met. But King Charles gave Harry the cold shoulder.
Critics argued that the lack of palace statement made Harry look isolated, while Charles's composure only reinforced the image of a steady monarch. And that's where the spin battle really began. On one side, media trying to keep the story warm and positive. On the other, a flood of memes, commentary, and public skepticism that turned Harry into the focal point of his own headlines. Tom Sykes of the Daily Beast said, was that a settlement meeting? Does Prince Harry want to see his dad to say,
We love you, Harry. Thank you, Harry. Thank you so much. Thank you, Harry. Thank you, Harry.
What can I get out of you before I lose the opportunity? But the response didn't stop at him. It quickly spilled over onto Meghan and their entire brand. When Harry walked out empty-handed, the ripple hit more than just him. It splashed straight onto Meghan and their entire media empire. According to industry chatter, big platforms like Netflix and Spotify thrive on one thing: access and without fresh royal connections. Critics say the Sussex storyline risks going stale.
Harry, I warn you after 19 months apart. You came to Clarence House. Our first meeting.
Public opinion put it bluntly: no palace, no plot. The internet were direct in their response. One viral joke compared their content deals to a reality show without drama. It's like watching Survivor, but everyone just politely shares coconuts. Others argued Meghan now faces pressure to craft the next big headline, possibly through carefully managed interviews or releases, just to keep the spotlight alive. Commentators also noted the brand risk. Every declined request, every professional meeting makes it harder to package the Sussexes as insiders.
5 minutes ago. Just 5. That's all it took for the royal family to drop one of the most shocking announcements.
Without that royal connection, they're selling a story with fewer plot twists. And public reaction suggests people are already less engaged. And the most significant aspect, the optics weren't just about family, they were about business. He's trying to get back in with the king because he knows he'll never be able to get back in with William. That's never going to happen. So once that door is closed and unfortunately the king passes, I don't think there's any chance of him getting back into the fold.
Prince Harry finally sat down with King Charles for a private tea at Clarence House on September 10, 2025.
While Charles doubled down on image control, Harry's exit looked like a setback for the Sussex brand itself. If you were in Harry's shoes, would you keep trying with the royals or walk away for good? I want to hear your honest opinion in the comments. But if you think that's challenging, the bigger picture makes this look even more complex. This wasn't just about tea and biscuits. It was about power, image, and survival. Sources say the Clarence House meeting showed exactly how the monarchy plays the long game.
After 19 months apart, Prince Harry finally meets King Charles. But what does this face-to-face reunion mean for their fractured?
Silence, tradition, and optics over emotion. Charles didn't need strong words. The lack of concessions spoke louder than any headline. Public opinion framed it as a reminder that Harry isn't just dealing with his father. He's dealing with an entire institution. Commentators compared the showdown to a chess match. Harry moved fast, asking for multiple things at once, but Charles responded like a grandmaster, barely moving, but still controlling his opponent. One viral post summed it up.
A message to Prince Harry from the British public. Harry, we're not for...
You can't outmaneuver an institution that's been perfecting strategy for centuries. For Harry, the stakes are bigger than one awkward tea. Without royal backing, every move now risks looking like an effort to maintain relevance. Public conversations are already branding him as seeking recognition. I understand why Prince William has no desire to have a relationship with his brother. His brother presents ongoing challenges and potentially affects the monarchy. Meanwhile, Charles projects steady continuity.
Prince Harry just dropped another verbal grenade, and this one might have scorched whatever was left of the royal olive branch.
Doubling down on his role as monarch, not father in this arena. And that's why this meeting matters. It wasn't just a 55-minute tea, it was the crown quietly reminding Harry who controls the narrative. But is this truly the end of his royal story or just the beginning of the next chapter? Here's the part almost nobody's talking about: legacy. According to royal commentators, moments like this Clarence House meeting don't just make headlines for a week. They stick to a person's story forever. Decades from now, documentaries won't remember the exact biscuit served at tea.
You've all seen him coming to London to have tea with Papa. There's something about Harry, isn't there?
But they will remember the image of Harry walking out empty-handed while Charles held his ground. Public opinion is already shaping the narrative. Some people sympathize, saying Harry is the underdog fighting for recognition. Others argue he's cementing himself as the royal who couldn't win back what he left behind. Viral posts summed it up with lines like, "History won't remember the 55 minutes. It'll remember the empty exit. And that's where the significance lies. For Charles, this meeting folds neatly into the image of a monarch prioritizing duty over drama.
I don't know how much longer my father has. He won't speak to me because...
For Harry, critics warn it risks being remembered as yet another chapter in a series of challenges. Legacy isn't built overnight. It's built moment by moment. And this tea may end up defining more than either side expected. This is a man who talks about how unsafe he feels and how he needs the British taxpayer to pay for his security, but is very happy to reveal about his experience in his book that he got a book deal for, and then very happy to jet over.
King Charles and Prince Harry finally reunited in London after more than a year apart. But while
to Ukraine. So this is a man who clearly has different priorities regarding his safety. It's just about his perspective. But if this is the story now, imagine how it'll look when the next development inevitably happens. So let's break it down. Prince Harry walked into Clarence House with high hopes, a full wish list, and maybe a plan for reconciliation. 55 minutes later, he walked out with none of it. No promises, no progress, not even a polished palace statement to present it differently.
Prince Harry finally reunited with King Charles after more than a year, sharing that his father is doing great following their private tea at Clarence House.
Meanwhile, King Charles carried on business as usual, projecting calm authority while Harry faced headlines that made the meeting look like an institutional response. The optics were clear. One side appeared composed, steady, and unshaken. The other looked positioned, concerned, and more isolated than ever. And that's why people are asking the question, is Harry fighting for family or fighting a battle he can't possibly win? But if you think this royal situation was dramatic, trust me, it's nothing compared to what's already developing across the pond.
Harry is really, really deep in trouble at the moment, even financially. I mean, we know that Meghan's Jam failed to sell out her season 2.
Because Meghan's name is back in the spotlight, and the latest developments are making waves that could impact the entire Sussex story. If you missed that comprehensive breakdown, go watch our previous video right now. It's one you definitely don't want to skip. But let's wrap this up properly. What we witnessed at Clarence House wasn't just a family meeting that took an unexpected turn. It was a masterclass in institutional management. Charles demonstrated exactly how the monarchy has survived.
Prince Harry has touched down in the UK for his longest trip back home since the passing of his grandmother, Queen Elizabeth.
For over 1,000 years, by putting the crown before personal feelings, every single time. The 55-minute meeting will be remembered not for what was said, but for what wasn't given. No concessions, no promises, no special treatment. Just a reminder that when you step away from the institution, you can expect to walk back in on your own terms. For Harry, this represents a turning point. The door to easy reconciliation appears firmly closed.
Harry broke down the moment he opened Charles's final inheritance letter. No land, no titles, no heirlooms, just a handwritten note.
The institution has spoken, and it spoke through silence, protocol, and measured distance. Public opinion seems to recognize this shift. The memes and commentary aren't just about one awkward tea, they're about the end of an era. Meanwhile, the monarchy continues its steady march forward. Charles projects stability, William maintains his distance, and the institution protects itself. It's a strategy that's worked for centuries, and Wednesday's meeting proved it's still working today.
Your trip to the UK today, what do you hope to achieve? Well, my relationship is very good with the UK, and Charles, as you know, who's...
The question now isn't whether Harry can win back his royal status. Wednesday answered that. The question is what comes next for someone who's learned that some bridges, once damaged, can't be rebuilt with a 55-minute conversation. History will remember this meeting as the moment when institutional duty definitively took precedence over family sentiment. And for an institution that survived civil wars, world wars, and countless family challenges, that's probably exactly how they want it remembered. The crown endures. Everything else is just temporary challenges. This has been your deep dive into what really happened when Harry met Charles. What do you think? Was this the right approach, or should family always come first? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more royal updates that matter.